Hey everybody, how's it going? For this part of the Guide to Parallel Quests, I'm going to go over the Awoken Skills, and yeah, we'll start with the Awoken Skills since there aren't that many to go through, and I'll tell you which ones to use and which ones you can probably not worry about too much since they wouldn't be too helpful. Apparently there's 20 minutes until the Conton TV thing, but those never worked for me anyway. So the first Awoken we'll look at is the Earthling exclusive Power Pole Pro. Now you don't get any skills while using this. You can see I have nothing except the ability to unlock Awoken skill, which basically just turns it off. But what you can do with this is you can dash in, you can fly in right after the hit and do a big combo, and with the Key Blast button you could do the Power Pole, which is one of the strike supers that I recommended. It won't benefit from the Power Pole Extend Super Soul, but there is a Flying Nimbus Super Soul that gives you a boost to damage. An XL boost to all your damage. Yeah, it takes a few hits for them to knock you off of it, or you can manually get off. You can see, like most Awokens, they won't be able to grab you, but they can break your stamina. They can also still grab you, and that'll automatically put you off of this transformation. If you can call it that, since you're just flying around and swinging a power pole around. It's pretty useful if you're doing just like quick combos and such. There's a few other tricks you can do with it. This is what a step vanish, like stepping, looks like as it. You just kind of do a loop-de-loop. You can dodge some attacks with it. You can still burst dash while on the cloud. Attacking while dashing with a light attack does the combo. Heavy attack will make you do this big swing. You can back hit with it, which makes you spin the staff behind yourself. You can kind of block with it. You go like this where you spin it, but as you can see, it won't protect you from grabs. It also doesn't seem to guard against special attacks from my experience. Overall, this one feels more like a fun gimmick than like a real practical effect. So if you want to use it, it can be kind of fun to. Yeah, tapping light while moving or standing still will make you do this rapid poking thing, which ends in an extension strike. And heavy attack while moving still goes into the combo. Yeah, you can see I can break his stamina like that, go into the combo. I'll show off this real quick. Nope, I failed to show it off. But if you dash in, do the dash combo, you can burst dash after it and repeat the combo after a stamina break. But it's real tough to do on enemies before they recover all their stamina. So many forms of Super Saiyan to choose from, so we'll start with the basic Super Saiyan. Here's, you can go up to Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3. This much you probably already knew. The nice thing about it is it actually boosts your strike super attacks more than your Key Blast supers. So if you're playing a character that relies on strike supers or a hybrid, and it's a Saiyan, Super Saiyan is the choice. And Super Saiyan 3, of course, gives you the highest boost to your strikes. And there are Super Souls like Goku the Legendary Super Saiyan, and I'll make you regret that. That'll further increase strike-based attacks when you go Super Saiyan. But yeah, Super Saiyan 3 will give you the highest boost to your strikes. Conversely, there's Super Vegeta. Super Vegeta goes up to level 2, as I'll demonstrate. You'll see there's a Super Saiyan 2 based Super Soul, which is this Super Saiyan 2 is crazy strong, which you can use with it. It'll give you, I think, better ki recovery as well as some bonuses to your damage. There's also I Am Super Vegeta, which will raise the Ki Blast damage of Super Saiyan even higher. And with it, you can use Super Vegeta to boost your Ki Blast damage. It's as simple as that, really. Other than that, the only real difference between it and normal Super Saiyan is you can only go up to Super Saiyan 2 with it. The next one is Future Super Saiyan, which you actually unlock by doing the special missions that appear when you do the time eggs that you collect the first time. Once you unlock it, though, you'll have it for any character, and you can unlock it as any character. We'll go ahead and activate it right now. It only goes up to level 1, but it works pretty quick, and it gives you the same bonuses as Super Saiyan 1. I think the best use of it, though, is mostly in like player matches, since you can do it quickly, and it only costs 3 key bars, whereas Super Saiyan 2 costs 4, and Super Saiyan 3 costs 5 to have it. All forms of Super Saiyan can also do this. If you fully charge any Ki Blast Super, you'll perform a teleport, get close to the opponent, and then fire it at full power. Some attacks take longer to charge than other those. Kamehameha is good for that, and so is Gallic Gun. Times 10 Kamehameha and a few others, I'm trying to remember the names of them, also work with this. Evil Explosion works pretty good with it. But like times 10 Kamehameha is a bit slower, but it can be done. Another really slow one that does teleport if you charge it up all the way is Big Bang Kamehameha, but that one's so slow to charge that it might not be worth even bothering to try that. Same with times 10. As you can see, you can turn just about any charge attack like that. And not just Future Super Saiyan, but every Super Saiyan form can do that. But this one, you have to build your friendship up with Whis to get it. And once you've maxed that out, after training with him and getting his dual ultimate, you can talk to him again at a particular level, and he'll teach you how to use Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Blue. You take more damage in Super Saiyan Blue, and your health will take more. You take more damage when you're in Super Saiyan Blue, but you have a faster stamina recovery, and you get a bonus to all your damage. Like, it gives an equal bonus to basic strikes, Ki Blast Supers, and Strike Supers. So it's really good for hybrid characters if you can negate the Ki Drain. And it gets all the same benefits as other Super Saiyan forms. The teleport when you use a fully charged Ki Blast Super, and the teleport when you fully charge up a Heavy Strike. That was a thing I forgot to mention. I'll show off one that a lot of people think is not it can't be maintained due to its extreme Ki Drain, but I'll show that's not even true. If I use Divinity Unleashed along with Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Evolved, I can keep it running. You'll see my Ki goes up faster than it goes down. It also gives a higher damage boost than regular Super Saiyan Blue, just at the cost of more Ki Drain. When it runs out, all you gotta do, knock your opponent away, trigger Divinity Unleashed again, and do some combos to get in your damage. You can see even on high defense opponents like the ones in this particular PQ, you can still do lots of damage. And you can even further boost your damage with specific Super Souls. I'll show an example real quick. On this build, I actually have one that boosts both of my types of damage, Ki Blasts and Strikes. It's Super Saiyan God Vegeta's Super Soul called Pathetic. You use 3 blazing attacks, and that'll give you 3 M boosts to both Ki Blast damage and strike damage. Once I do it a 3rd time. I've already got the buff, so I'm going to go after Frost. Hit him with a Super Kamehameha. And do a whole lot of damage. If you have enough Ki, or use meditation and get that stamina break off, you could do ultimate combinations like I showed in my best ultimates video, and this could probably straight up one-hit kill most opponents. I'll talk about another one that gets a bit of a slept on since it was pretty heavily nerfed back when Xenoverse 2 first came out because of how overpowered it was in like player matches and stuff. Just gotta get enough Ki to use it. Once you have 3 Ki as a Namekian, you can unlock Become Giant. Now as a giant, your stamina will rapidly drain, but enemies can't harm you in this form. They can only damage your stamina. You can do combos like this. Like 3 lights does this move. Just gonna move away from him real quick. You can also do 3 lights into a heavy to do that combo. You can also do 3 lights and then a heavy smash. It's not actually a heavy smash, but you'll do this punch that that slams the opponent downward. And they do good damage. I'm using a super soul with it that you get from one of the raids called Let's See How You Handle This Power. After it breaks, you can use super guard and protect yourself from the opponent until they're done attacking. Once your stamina comes back, get him, knock him down again, go back to being a giant with full stamina. I'll show off this. You can do a stretchy punch. You can back hit. You do that stretchy attack with a heavy strike anytime you want. You can still fly, as you can see. Pressing the key blast button goes for a grab. You can grab the opponent and it'll squeeze them and toss them. And you have 4 special attacks in this that replace your other supers, as well as no ultimate. So you have the short range blast, the mid range blast, and the long range blasts. You can also do Evil Roar, which gives you this shockwave around yourself for enemies that are close up to you, or if you're getting attacked. The only one big drawback to become giant is that once you're a giant, every single opponent will start attacking you. But again, one-on-one fights, yeah, you can just absolutely devastate your opponents if you can trap them in the corner or on the ground and pin them down, and then just do massive damage to them using that combo of light, 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 and then forwarded light. I brought giant form into a fight against multiple opponents so I can demonstrate why you wouldn't use this in a crowd fight. You can see everybody suddenly starts shooting key blasts at you and attacking. They treat you as though you're like a raid boss or something, and they all start attacking you at once. You can see I knocked them away with Evil Roar.
Dangerous.
It'll also stop their key blasts from getting you. Another nice thing is when you're a giant, your key will automatically regenerate. Like, it regenerates pretty rapidly. When it runs out, go for your super guard and try to keep yourself safe. See, sometimes they won't know how to react to super guard. You can also use a... well, you can also try to use like super after image or something, but but super guard's the best way to wait out the comms doing that. You can see how they're still teaming up on me. And then if I go into a giant form and start blasting, you can hit multiple opponents with the mouth cannon.
Like this existed.
But yeah, there's another movie. At forward and heavy, you'll do this overhead stretchy smack that can hit the opponent if they try to fly over you and such. As you can see, they're going all out on me now. Krillin fired the Super Destructo Disc barrage at me while I was focused on Tien, even though I'm fighting Tien. Now he's going to go into Neo Tri-Beam. You can see when I transformed, Gohan also attacked. So yeah, the best time to use this is when you have one opponent, and, you know, not multiple opponents at once. But yeah, against a single opponent, that'll give you a significant advantage over them. Other moves you can use are like counter ultimates and such. That'll keep enemies off of you long enough for your stamina to come back.
Sorry.
You can see I took advantage of it there to counter Tien, and while using Evil Blast, I was invulnerable. Most people know the Awoken that's exclusive to the Frieza race, turn golden. You'll assume a gold form similar to Golden Frieza, and your moves will change a bit. Your regular Ki Blasts now look like this, and you can do a charged Ki Blast where you shoot a laser, like that. You'll see I'm triggering a Super Soul called I Am the Universe's Strongest. This is a Vegeta Super Soul that usually works with the Rush Ki Blast, which boosts its damage up to 10 times. But it also works with the charged Ki Blast that you get from Golden Form, which is the laser. I think you can also shoot through enemies, like when they're holding back and keeping themselves at a distance with it. You can also pull off a pretty good combos with it if Piccolo will cooperate, which he will not. But you can see I can shoot through his regular ki blasts and hit him. They can still knock him away and knock him back to you, but they're faster and they do a little more damage. You can see I can do a light, heavy, heavy, and then fire the charge shot. And that's to get you a pretty decent 4-hit combo with the gold form. Stat-wise, the golden form will increase your ki blast damage more than anything else.
Someone like this existed.
So I got Bomber DX equipped on this build. If I can hit Gohan with it, it'll do a lot of damage and probably take him out. Of course, even a regular Bomber DX without transforming could probably do it.
I thought it was done for.
You see, I got him there. Did a bunch of damage to Krillin that time.
Leave the rest to me. I'm not going
There's
down.
bending Kamehameha and the damage it can do in golden form. So yeah, most people build their golden form characters around ki blasts because the gold form gives you a good ki blast boost. You do take more damage while in golden form, which is its one drawback. And it used to make you faster, but they kind of took that away from it. This Awoken skill was slept on for the longest time, because back when it first came out, it wasn't very good at all. It is Purification. It makes your Majin character look like Kid Buu, and you gain new skills. As you can see, I just obliterated Beerus with Vanishing Ball, which you can infinite with in this form. Quick Sleep will recover health, ki, and stamina in this form. And Pearl Flash, if you fully charge it up, will actually break the enemy's stamina. Don't think the AI is going to let me show that off. But I'll show you some other things. Step Vanishing makes you do these quick hops where you flip around. You can dodge a lot of attacks with them. Your block also becomes this stretch move where you'll actually dodge attacks rather than guard against them. Your combos, for the most part, are the same as the ones Kid Buu himself has, though there are some differences.
I didn't expect you to get this far.
You can see these are standard Kid Buu combos that I'm doing, but you also have this trick. If you hit the ki blast button, you'll teleport your foot and kick them from below. This is the basic ki blast in this form. If you're far away from someone and hit heavy attack, you'll dash at them as though you performed a burst dash. Though it's not quite like a burst dash, since it won't actually break their stamina if you hit them with this one while they're doing an ultimate. Like that, for example. Just jumped over 17, so with the step dodge here, so he was going to miss with his ultimate there. Super Electric Strike. It's kind of slow to fire, and if enemy AIs will obviously avoid it. Try to go off the example of Pearl Flash, so they keep dodging it. I think the Pearl Flash is actually better used as a combo ender in Purification, personally, than PQs, because most enemies will either take the hit or not attempt to block the fully charged Pearl Flash. I'll show this off, too. You can charge up the basic attack, and then release it when you want, and you'll charge forward. It's not very accurate, because you can steer it, but steering it is kind of a bit of a problem. You can see I dodged Majin Buu's attempt to grab me. And there, if you fully charge it, it will break the opponent's stamina as though you hit them with a heavy smash. Your evasive becomes Angry Shout. And don't be shy about using it. Your stamina recovers automatically while you're in Purification form. And of course you can Quick Sleep to recover it even quicker. The one thing you have to watch out for is if you run out of stamina because you got hit by a stamina break, then you'll actually lose the Purification form and won't be able to change back until your stamina recovers. Yeah, you can see I'm doing plenty of damage. I'll show off the two ultimates you get here. The first one got input red instantly, but it's Teleport Vanishing Ball. But you can see the example I'm giving of what happens if they break your stamina by input reading an ultimate, so don't just throw those out willy-nilly. The Super Soul I have is Ehehehehe, which is a boost to the damage you do in this form, as well as a reduction in damage you take while in Purification. And even though Vegeta hit me pretty hard there with his Super Gallic Gun, by Quick Sleeping after breaking his stamina, I've recovered all my stamina, all my ki, and almost all my health. So yeah, the other ultimate is Teleport Vanishing Ball. You also have Super Vanishing Ball. You can also combo Super Vanishing Ball into regular Vanishing Ball and start doing the infinite combo if you have enough ki. Yeah, so you can actually afford to make lots of mistakes in this form and still make up for them thanks to all the perks that you get while in Purification. You can see I'm practically dominating this despite having taken a huge hit earlier. You can still burst dash regularly, which is what I did there to catch Frieza off guard. And you also have maximum charge, which you can use in place of quick sleep. And you'll recover ki quickly, you just won't recover health or stamina. Oh, Emperor's Death Beam? Watch this. Look how much damage I'm preventing. And knock him back. Could have infinited him right there with another Vanishing Ball. And as soon as he fails to dodge that, I'm going to hit him with one of those, and then he'll be done. Yeah, Purification, you'll practically feel like you're cheating at this game if you use this in player quests, because it's stupidly overpowered for player quests. See, I just dodged his burning strike there. We'll knock him away. I could have gone into the infinite right there, but I was actually trying to use quick sleep so I could recover health. Yeah, check this out. Until he stops me, and then I can just angry shout whatever he attempts to stop me with. But yeah, in terms of clearing PQs, this is probably the best one in the entire game. You just have to learn how to use it to its maximum effect. But with the tips I've shown, hopefully you'll be able to do that. You probably already mentioned, you remember I already mentioned Vanishing Ball and Teleport Vanishing Ball, and how useful they are, even if you're not playing a Purify Majin. Yeah, you can combo Teleport Vanishing Ball and Super Vanishing Ball into normal Vanishing Ball, and it'll do massive damage. Lastly, I'll go over the two Awoken skills that are available regardless of what character race you are. The first one is Kaio-ken. There's a Super Soul that will negate some of the stamina drain that it causes. Also, Kaio-ken and Kaio-ken times 3 actually provide the lowest amount of damage boost. I think it's mostly for basic strikes and such. Also, like Super Saiyan Blue, you take additional damage when in Kaio-ken form. I'm playing a female Majin, but a Frieza race character can also negate some of the stamina drain because they automatically recover stamina at all times. Unfortunately, you can't purify and use Kaio-ken. That would probably be stupid overpowered. If you have skills that recover stamina, like Rise to Action or Charge Ki Wave, those will also recover your stamina while in Kaio-ken. In Kaio-ken 3, you can actually dash around like this, free of stamina charge. In times 20 Kaio-ken, you actually have the same damage boost as you would if you were doing Potential Unleashed, but you can also vanish free of charge. Of course, your stamina will run out pretty quick with the rapid ki drain. Yeah, you'll see you still spend stamina to use evasives, but you can vanish for free. You can see it interrupted times 20 Kaioken Kamehameha because my stamina broke. And of course, if you're using a lesser Kaioken and they get you in a combo, you won't be able to get out of it because your stamina won't be high enough. And it won't become high enough until the Kaioken itself breaks it. Which means the CPUs, who never use a heavy smash against you, well, then you won't really be able to escape their combos and you'll take a bunch of damage. So overall, I'd say Kaio-ken is more style than substance. Don't really recommend it for doing player parallel quests. Next we come to the universal all races can use this one Awoken that everyone knows about, and everyone can get by completing the training course, is Potential Unleashed. This one gives you the same kind of damage boost that Kaio-ken times 20 gives you, just without the stamina drain or the infinite stamina for vanishing. Alright, I think for the last part I'll go over all the Super Souls by just going down the list and telling you which ones I recommend the most for running PQs. And earlier I called them player quests by mistake. PQs is parallel quests. But yeah, I'll go over some of the ones I'd recommend and why, as well as how to best implement them. So first up is Flying Nimbus. This one will boost all your attacks while using Power Pole Pro. So if you are using Power Pole Pro, this one will probably help with that. I Am the Universe's Strongest. Like I mentioned before, you can use it with the golden form as a Frieza race character, and it will stack up to 10 times, giving you a strength to the charged shot each time. Here's Saiyans Are a Warrior Race. If you're playing a character who's using like basic strikes and strike supers, this one will give you an S boost to the strength of your attacks based on how many enemies you KO'd, up to 10 of them. This one can be good if you're fighting a lot of enemies and you're soloing, since you have to get the KO to trigger the Super Soul. I'm Neither Kami Nor Piccolo can be pretty good because it'll boost the strength of your Ki Blasts by M, but when your stamina is maxed out, you'll actually recover health. Obviously, what this means is you can tank a lot more damage since your health will regenerate while you have maximum stamina. I mentioned I Am Super Vegeta before, where when you use a Super Saiyan transformation, it will boost Ki Blast-based skills by L, which I believe it goes S, M, L, XL, XXXL, and so on. Here's one that'll also help you if you need a lot of health, is Boo Will Eat You. If you're fighting groups of enemies, every time you get a KO, you'll get some health back. That one can be pretty useful. I showed off Have Had Enough of You, but what I didn't show off is not only can you give yourself infinite ki temporarily when an ally gets KO'd, but if you use the Limit Burst to raise the Dynamite Kick attack and then hit your opponent with a fully charged Dynamite Kick, it can straight up kill your opponents. It does massive damage. This one, if you activate an Awoken skill like Super Saiyan or like Potential Unleashed, it works with all of them, but you can also activate a power-up skill, and when you do this, you and your allies will all begin recovering health while the Super Soul is active. It'll last as long as your Awoken skill and your Reinforcement skill are active at the same time. Just Win OK will give you a ki restoration much quicker when you hit enemies or take damage, kind of like when you use Divinity Unleashed, and when you KO an opponent, it'll give you a small amount of health back. Before Creation Comes Ruin can be a good Super Soul if you're a Ki Blast based character using supers and ultimates like that, and a short time after the battle starts, it'll give you an XL boost to all your Ki Blast skills. And in a lot of the DLC player parallel quests, for example, where they have a long conversation before the fight starts, this Super Soul can activate before the fight begins. This is a real Kamehameha, will boost any Ki Blast skill with Kamehameha in its name. And that includes the regular Kamehameha, the Kaio-ken Kamehameha, the bending one, and a few other skills. If it has Kamehameha in the name, chances are this Super Soul will give it an XL boost temporarily. This one, Very Well I Shall Return Time, can be pretty good if you practice Just Guarding, since it'll give you a bit of health every single time you land a Just Guard. Which, yeah, that can be pretty useful. If you can just guard a big ultimate attack from the comms, like a Super Kamehameha or an Emperor's Death Beam, you'll recover a lot of health using this Super Soul. This Super Soul, I've been saving this, Kaio-ken, can boost the amount of ki restored, and your normal attacks by M, but it'll also boost stamina recovery speed, which can help negate the stamina drain on Kaio-ken. I'll make you regret that as a good Super Soul if you're playing a Saiyan that focuses on strike supers and such. It also boosts your normal attacks at XL, so if you're using basic strikes and also melee, like strike super abilities, this is a great Super Soul to use in your Super Saiyan forms. Your just pieces in a game is the same as before creation comes ruin, but instead of boosting your Ki Blast skills, it'll boost strike skills by XL. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same kind of Super Soul. Here's He. This one is the one that makes Purification so incredible for clearing PQs. That's pretty insane, coupled with what Purification can already do. So yeah, if you're using Purification and you use this Super Soul, you win, basically. I ain't losing, here's my full power, will work with any Kamehameha type ultimate. Like the, this is a real Kamehameha, it'll temporarily boost the strength of your Ki Blast supers. In this case, your Ki Blast ultimates, since you're using it with Kamehameha type ultimate attacks. Time to get serious, I guess, can be pretty useful. You have to have your health drop below 75% before you can use your skills, but when it is below 75%, you'll gain a big increase to your move speed, and all of your attacks get an XXL boost, so you'll be able to do huge damage. The drawback to this is when you heal yourself above 75%, your skills will become unusable again and you'll lose those buffs. But if you're, relying on... If you're not too worried about your health, this can be a huge Super Soul for completing parallel quests. Kefla's Super Soul, alright, let's go wreck some faces. Works with basically any build, but it's different depending on how you use it. You'll see when you use a charged attack, in this case the Power Ki Blast, it'll boost your normal attacks. It'll boost your normal Ki Blasts and your Ki Blast based skills up to 4 times, which brings it up to an XL boost. Then, if you do this with a charged heavy strike, it'll boost normal attacks and melee skills by XL. So, during a parallel quest, if you can hit 4 power Ki Blasts and 4 charged heavy strikes, you'll basically have an XL boost to all your damage. Finally, a worthy opponent's pretty good if you're using Wolffang Fist or Neo Wolffang Fist, since if you're a strike character with these skills, it'll boost the damage by XL and give you auto ki recovery, so you can actually use Wolffang Fist both to inflict extra damage and to build up your ki. Sorry for the wait, you ready will boost Special Beam Cannon's damage by XL, which is a lot. Plus, after a bit of time after the fight starts, all your Ki Blast base moves get an S upgrade, and the Limit Burst also increases Special Beam Cannon even higher. Same with finally a worthy opponent for Wolffang Fist and Neo Wolffang Fist. It'll make those attacks do massive damage. You can straight up slaughter enemies in PQs with those boosts. You Give Our People a Bad Name boosts Double Sunday's damage by XL, which is one of the attacks I recommended in the Ki Blast supers, and up to 6 times it'll boost your normal attacks. And the Limit Burst makes Double Sunday's attack go way up, so you can also use it to inflict massive damage. You and this entire planet are as good as space dust is the Gallic Gun and Earth-splitting Gallic Gun boost. Gives an XL boost to those hits. As it shows here, when you use them, it also boosts your Ki Blast base moves up to 6 times, and then the Limit Burst will increase the damage of Gallic Gun and Earth-splitting Gallic Gun, meaning that these attacks with all those boosts will do a huge amount of blast damage. Looks like I got a little carried away, heh. Will do the same thing as the You and This Entire Planet is Good Space Dust, but it is a bit different. It stacks up to 6 times like that, but this time it boosts Kamehameha. This time it's just the regular Kamehameha, but it will make it do lots of damage. A fully charged Kamehameha can do almost as much damage as a Super Kamehameha would using this Super Soul. It will also stack up to 6 times a boost to your melee strikes, like strike supers and such, so it's really good for hybrid builds. This Super Soul can be useful if you have a burst charge, or it says when using charge skills, but I believe it also still works with Divinity Unleashed, but it will temporarily boost all of your attacks by M, like melee strikes and ki blast skills, but it also will activate a ki auto recovery mode while you're charging. You Irritating Little Pests works with any super attack. It'll give it an XL boost in damage. Time for a little nap. You'll deal a bit of sleep damage, which causes you to fall asleep at the start of the fight as though you were hit by Lullaby Punch, but it will permanently give you a ki auto recovery mode, which you can use to negate like the ki drain on Super Saiyan Blue and the like. Don't Tell Me You Think You Can Beat Me works with any power-up skill. That means if you're using Divinity Unleashed to gain your ki, or using Meditation, Fruit of the Tree of Might, or any other power-up, whenever you have that power-up active, you'll have an XL boost to all of your attacks, meaning you'll do a lot more damage. Time to get rid of the last little bit of trash is similar to Saiyans Are a Warrior Race, only instead of boosting your melee skills, like strike supers and such, it'll boost ki blast based skills based on how many enemies you've KO'd. It's basically the ki blast super version of Saiyans Are a Warrior Race. Power Pole Extend will boost power pole attacks, like I showed off in the strike super video. It'll give power pole attack an XL, and when power pole hits or is blocked, you'll actually reduce your opponent's ki, which makes it harder for them to retaliate against you with supers and ultimates. Let's see how you handle this kind of power. It boosts... This one will boost the giant form for Namekians. It boosts the strength of all attacks by L and gives you ki auto recovery. Now I believe giant form already has ki auto recovery, but this Super Soul will boost that ki auto recovery even further. I Got My Claws in You and Fangs 2 is a pretty good Super Soul for a strike-based character. It's similar to Alright, Let's Go Wreck Some Faces, where you have to land a charged heavy attack, but it will boost your melee skills and movement speed rather than just your normal and strike supers. So it'll stack up to 2 times, giving you an XXL boost to your strike-based moves, as well as an XL boost to your speed. That Heat, I'll Have to Match It, works when you get hit by an ultimate attack, which the enemies in parallel quests do like to rely on. But it also works even if you block the attack or even just guard or use an evasive to avoid the damage. But when it happens, all of your attacks will get an L boost. You'll take an M boost in defense, which means you'll take less damage from all attacks. Your movement speed increases, the amount of ki restored to you increases, and your stamina recovery speed will also increase. This basically gives you a tremendous boost to all your stats, and all you have to do is either block or even evasive out of taking damage from an ultimate attack. That's a pretty good deal. Pathetic is really good, especially for just about any build if you want to do lots of damage, but you do have to equip Blazing Attack to make it work. It stacks up to 3 times by using Blazing Attack. It'll boost melee skills and ki blast based skills, as well as the amount of ki restored. And as it says, it'll stack up to 3 times. So that basically means you'll get an XXL boost to all of those skills, as well as your ki restoration. That's extremely good. This one can be pretty good for doing parallel quests. My Underhanded Techniques are my most effective ones. What you can do with this is use a charged heavy attack, and it will poison your opponent. And any opponent that you've poisoned, you gain a boost of M to all of your attacks against opponents that you've poisoned in this way. Or even in other ways, but I never recommended any of the poison skills, since with this Super Soul, you don't even need them. Your charged attack hitting will be enough to activate it. This one can be pretty good if you're not really focusing that much on using skills. It'll reduce your ki recovery speed, but once you've maxed out your ki, you don't have to use it because it'll boost the strength of all of your attacks by XXL, so your basic strikes will become extremely good. This is a great one to pick if you have a 125 in basic strikes. Over here, you idiot, works pretty interesting. You have to use a Z Vanish, which is where you hit the fly up button to vanish while attacking an opponent. Or even if you whiff and disappear as a defensive thing, you'll temporarily increase your stamina recovery, and all of your attacks get an XXL boost. This one can be extremely overpowered if you bring this into a fight where a lot of enemies are going to pop in the same map, like if you're doing PQ 122, for example. With this one, when your allies are using their assist on you, you'll get a boost in strength, an XXL boost, and the effect increases based on the number of allies assisting you, which means if you have 2 using it on you, you'll get an XXXXL boost to all of your damage, which is pretty high. It also reduces damage taken from all attacks when your health drops below 25%. These ones are pretty specific to doing parallel quests, but they're not important. That belongs to the Red Ribbon Army will reduce your score gain to 0, but it will triple the amount of Zenny you earn, in case you needed more Zenny to buy capsules or something. And my hobbies are reading and sports will take away all the Zenny you earn from a parallel quest, but triple the score you gain. So if you're going for those Z ranks, bring this Super Soul. I've cast aside everything for this as a bit of an oddity. I don't know if I'd totally recommend this one, because it will boost the strength of all attacks by XXL permanently, but you suffer some penalties. You take increased damage from all attacks, your movement speed is reduced, the amount of ki restored is lessened, and your stamina recovery speed is lower. So that'll cover pretty much all the basic mechanics. We've covered all the strikes, all the strike supers and ultimates, all the ki blast supers and ultimates, all the Awokens, all the evasives, everything, and the Super Souls. And in the next part, we're actually going to put all of that to the test, and I'll show you what to watch out for when fighting particular enemies in some of the more difficult parallel quests there are. So yeah, in the next part, we'll actually run a few parallel quests, and I'll show off some of the tricks the AI pulls and how you can counter them. So tune in for that next video, and thank you again for watching.